Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all having a great Saturday morning. Yes, I got up before noon again. Couldn't believe that, but I've been working day shift this summer, so I'm kind of pre-programmed for a little while anyway to get up pretty close to the same time as the sun does. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and get a video out. I'm probably going to do two of them today. Probably do a championship box later on today. I'll probably open that Donruss box you see there in the background a little bit later on. But right now I wanted to do the flea market find type of video, and I'll show you the stuff that I found while we were out on our little adventures yesterday. So first, excuse me, first my allergies are kind of kicking me still, but I got this 1993 Premier Racing Champions Jimmy Hensley. Of course, Jimmy only ran one race in this car in the fall of 1993 at Martinsville, his home track. Rick Wilson, the normal driver of this car, was injured at Dover the previous week. I believe Rick had blown a tire and suffered a shoulder injury and was medically not cleared to compete. But there you see the Jimmy Hensley and the King there with the number 44. I'll get in a little closer so you can see the car a little bit better. Always like this packaging that they did. Everyone is serial numbered to a different sequential number there you see stamped. I believe there was was it 25 or 10,000? There's 10,000 of each car, the cars of these made. It's a back burner project. It's not near as intense as my 96 VIP Emerald Proof set was, but I'd like to get the whole set of these 93 Premier Pluses. I think they display nicely. They're very attractive packaging. Of course, I'm sure they use the same car and stand and card as they did in their normal retail blister packs. I'll just sit that one over there as a nice little centerpiece for the video. But they were just packed really nicely, and I enjoyed them, and excuse me, and thought they'll be a nice little project to work on. Okay, another car that I came across was this Action 1/64th scale car of Kevin Harvick. As you can see, it's a nice Rookie of the Year car that he ran after, of course, we lost Dale. One thing that I like is their attention to detail on this. It actually has the rookie stripes, and during this era, not a lot of cars were that, or not a lot of companies that made the die-cast cars were that strict on their attention to detail. So I can respect that one. Then we have, next up, try to get it out of the box here, or out of the bag, I should say. Just have a little bag that they put everything in. This is kind of not really a harder to find one, but it's 1995 Jeff Gordon Racing Champions. And there you see Jeff back in 95. You notice some sponsors on there that you probably don't associate Gordon with, like Coca-Cola and Valvoline. So those two sponsors went away after the 95 season, and I believe he signed Pepsi and Quaker State, and they've been on the cars ever since, till Gordon retired. They signed up in 96. Trying to see what other sponsors. You see Xerox there on the C post, AC on the B post. Of course, he's got Kellogg's and GMAC, which is now Ally Financial. So this would have been Jeff's third full year of competition, because he was Rookie of the Year 93 and finished 7th or 8th in points in 94. Here's the back of it, and it just has all the companies that they got the rights from for all their, not just Jeff's car, but throughout the whole Racing Champions line. 1997 preview was the last time Jeff was a Racing Champions, they made the Racing Champions diecast of Jeff Gordon. Maybe 97 regular, but the 97 previews he was definitely in. And after that, he was strictly with Action RCCA. So I've got some... I normally don't buy banks by Action, but they had these at a super low price, and I just could not pass it up. This is a very, very... I couldn't believe this one when I seen this. But a Neil Bonnett, when he drove for the Wood Brothers in the early 80s, this would have been about 81 or 82, when he drove the Hodgdon National Engineering Thunderbirds. You can see it's the boxy bird, as they called it. There you see the back of the car. There's a slot for the bank, and of course there's the key to open the bottom of it. Of course, this will never see coins in it. This may never see, probably the only time this car will ever see the outside of the box. But the prices that vendor had these at, I could not refuse, and I just dropped something off of it. Oh, the right front wheel come off of it. So I will put this down here, and I will sort that out after the video. I have to find that wheel, and maybe that's why. Maybe Neil crashed that car. Our next bank, and I always open these at the store to make sure that what's in them is in them. Piece of foam there. But this is the Kyle Petty protest car that he ran in was it 95 or 96? I always get that confused. 1996. So the story goes, in the 96 Coca-Cola 600, Kyle Petty was racing and trying to get a lap back, caused a huge multi-car crash on the restart, and NASCAR black flagged him. Of course, Felix Sabates, who never minces words and usually gets his point across in certain ways, said, hey, that would be a move Earnhardt would get away with. So the following week at Dover, they show up with a black car painted up identically to Dale Earnhardt's GM Goodwrench car. Ironically, they started one row apart. I can't remember, one started in row 9 and one started in row 10. And there's a photo that's circulating out there where there's a picture of this car, and right in the background in front of it is Dale's car. So it's a really iconic photo to see the two cars. And then Felix had put a, I'm not sure what that means. My Spanish isn't not that great, but you see the little above the word cat there, a little phrase that Felix had put in Spanish on there. And what I always liked about Felix's cars is he had those subscript numbers where one sat higher than another. So I thought this was a really, I had to pick this one up. I couldn't let this one go. So, but that's the story behind why in 1996 for one race, Kyle Petty ran a black and white car painted up identical to Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s iconic GM Goodwrench car. So I'll set this off to the side. And the third and final one of these big die casts that I got, and I couldn't believe it when I seen this, but it's the Hall of Fame car that Bobby Labonte ran for Joe Gibbs in, I believe it was 96, pretty sure it was 96, but when Joe Gibbs was inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and I'll try to get this out of here rather quickly. And again, all these are banks, so they're a little bit heavier than a traditional die cast. But this was the paint scheme they ran in 1996 at Talladega in the fall race. After Joe, there you see it, Pro Football Hall of Fame, Joe Gibbs. And this was when special paint schemes weren't really a thing, because now they wrap a car, they wrap a car with a pre-printed, basically a huge decal that they put over the car and cut it to size. This is when they were still had a body shop that painted cars, so you'd have a whole fleet of cars painted up with the normal Interstate Batteries paint scheme, the green and the black and the neon red. But for one race, they'd have to paint up 2 cars, because you'd have the primary and the backup. So that was a lot of man-hours just for one race car to have just a slightly different paint scheme. But I'll let you guys see the front, the back, the sides and everything. I like the attention to detail. Again, the trunk's open on this. Way to go, Joe, there on the back of the car with the Pro Football Hall of Fame logo right there on the left rear taillight panel. So those were my die-cast pickups at the flea market. I tried to find some cards, but what they had just wasn't priced where I wanted it. So those cards, if they decide to mark them down, I'll definitely snag some of them. But I did get some baseball stuff that, I got one more die cast down here, but it's simply just a Hot Wheel that I found in one of the booths. And it just resembles the fabulous Hudson Hornet. It's just a Hudson Hornet. And I seen that and wanted to pick that one up. So, just a unique little car. I do like that one. I don't think it's got a lot of value. But then I found a booth that had all these old Beckett magazines. So I've got a Ken Griffey Jr. Beckett from July of 1990. Then on the back, you got Frank Viola. going to try to move this camera back as far as I can so that I can get as much of it of the Beckett as I can get in there without getting you a glare. So yeah, Ken Griffey Jr. when he was playing with the Mariners for the first time. The next one is from August of 1990 with Ryne Sandberg on the cover. And then we'll flip this over, and I like that back. I believe that's Roger Clemens with Nolan Ryan. I'd have to look inside of the magazine because it tells you the covers. And again, baseball's not my #1 sport, so just identifying by face is a little bit more difficult for me. Then I have this Rickey Henderson. Of course, Rickey's the all-time stolen base leader. I believe that's Carlton Fisk on the back. I could be wrong, but I see a White Sox uni right there. And Carlton was a long-time Sox player. I know he played for the Red Sox for a short bit and then went to the White Sox. This one, the cover's a little excuse me, cover's a little bit wrinkled, but it's from April of 1987 and has Mike Schmidt on the front. Not sure who's on the back because I haven't taken it out yet, and it's got one of these cardboard sleeves. But I'm going to get pages for these, and I want to try to do a Beckett collection also, because there's so much good information about baseball cards in these older Becketts that you just can't find today, and I appreciate that. So going back, just get this stuff situated. And the last thing I picked up, kind of interesting, and I'll take it out of the... Well, no, I'm going to leave it in there because there's really nothing on the inside. But it's a jumbo. This is a, and I've got some 1989 Topps sitting right over here. This is a typical size of a 1989 Topps card. You see how huge this is. This isn't a card. It's a folder. It's a folder that you would use in school to put papers in or whatever. And it's just a big novelty folder. But I really liked it, and it just caught my eye and said, that's coming home with me. So I'm going to flip this over on the back, and it's done up exactly like the 89 Topps design. That's the other thing that caught my eye. So it has all of Mark's stats all the way from 1984 to 1988 between major and minor league. And is, like I said, it's done up just like the 89 Topps cards. So I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to just add that to my stuff because I thought it was kind of fun. So that is all the stuff that I did find on my little haul yesterday. And I did mention that I did have some kind of interesting cards that I've been finding along the way here in my, I've been going through some boxes looking for some stuff. I do collect Nolan Ryan cards a little bit. And from 1991, I need to get this sleeve because it's still in the wrapper. But from 1991, A Mother's Cookies. I'm not sure where that is distributed out of. I don't know if that's down in Texas, California, Florida, wherever. I know they're not available here, but I picked that up out of a collection that I had bought. And then I did have this 2007-2008 Rookies set, and it's the orange version, but that's the big card right there. So this is probably going to end up on eBay, this card by itself, and then the other 13 together, or the other 12 together, or 13, however many minus the Kevin Durant. Because I was went on eBay, sold listings, and seen that those are really moving right now. So, again, basketball's not really my sport. Back in 2007, 8, and 9, I was just buying blaster boxes of everything left and right. So it's hard to tell what I've got in all these boxes sitting around in this room. That's why I've been going through them and trying to make heads or tails. Is this good or is this bad or is this, you know, what have you. So that'll probably end up on eBay. I still need to write my eBay ID down up here on this little screen so that way y'all can go check out my stuff when I have something listed once in a while. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. We're up to 109 subs. We'll have that video upcoming this week or so with the 100 sub contest. Once we get to Sunday, I'll disable the comments in the video from last Saturday with the rules and everything, and somebody in the next week will be walking away with one of those 3 fine cards you see in the background. And probably tomorrow we'll open that box of 2020 sitting there. I'm just kind of getting everything arranged here. Later this afternoon, excuse me, wow, I'll open up another one of those championship collections. Of course, yesterday, and I did get it sleeved yesterday, we did get a hit with the Kevin Harvick in the very last pack of 2016 Prism that come out of there. So that was nice. Nice to get a hit. So we got 5 more of those boxes to go through. Hopefully we'll have 5 more hits, but we will see. Once again, I thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and we will see you again later today. Thanks for watching.